What's up everyone, this is Scratch and I've got another video review here for you. We're going to take a look at Inside My Radio and I'm going to give you guys a quick little overview of the game. I'm going to review it for you, go show you some gameplay, and you guys can decide whether or not this is something that you would want to buy. So it's a musical type beat based 2D platformer, and I think you guys will like it. You'll have to see it. So let's get to that. Okay, so Inside My Radio actually released on September the 18th, 2015, and I'm reviewing it on the Xbox One. So what we're looking at here is a side-scrolling platformer. It's developed by Seaven Studio and published by Iceberg Interactive, and it costs $14.99 on the Xbox One, and I assume it's probably similarly priced on the other platforms. So basically what we're looking at here is you get sucked inside this radio and you turn into this little green pixel. You're looking at actually one of the other characters that's inside the radio right now. But basically what you do is you're in this radio and the music and soul is gone out of radio, and you have to go through all of these levels and bring it back. And then the stories of what happened are actually what you play. That's what's being told here when you play with these other characters and the people that you meet along the way. But the game mechanic that's in this game is just a little bit different than probably you've ever played before. So I'm just going to kind of jump over to the tutorial to help explain that. Okay, so here we are in the tutorial. This is one of the first things that you're going to want to play because it's going to take a little bit of practice. There is a slight learning curve here to kind of get your feet wet and kind of get yourself going to understand what you're doing. So if you've been reading the screen here, you probably noticed that it said the movements are free. So moving your character to the left and to the right is completely free. The difference is you can only jump, and I'm actually making it look quite easy here, when that metronome thing that you see going around my head touches either the top or they come together at the bottom. And that also happens to be right in time with the beat. But that's just a visual cue or an aid that the game puts on there, and then you can decide whether or not you want to turn that on or off. You get several basic moves, so you have like there's jump and there's dash and there's wall jump, and then there's like a slam move that will open up new areas and all of that stuff. So as you're traversing through the levels, you actually have to time it with the beat of the music in order to perform it right on time. It can be a little bit challenging, so it does take a little bit of practice. So I definitely recommend checking out the tutorial first and then using that metronome. You can turn it off and on the fly within the game itself. So definitely an interesting game mechanic. I had a little bit of trouble with it. Apparently I have no rhythm, I guess. But otherwise it was pretty good. So let's just take a look at some of the gameplay and I'll tell you what I think about it. But I just wanted to go over this first so that when you see me, when you see what I'm talking about, it makes just a little bit more sense. Alright, so Inside My Radio contains two different game modes. The one I'm looking through here right now is we're just going through the song selection, which is basically just picking what level I want to play from levels that I've completed. And then, so you have the story mode, obviously, and then you saw back there, there was a time attack mode. And the differences are between the two is that the time attack mode is essentially all of the levels within the story mode. You just go back through and play them in a time attack mode, which really kind of changes up a lot of the dynamic of the gameplay, because now not only do you have to hit the beat of the music at a good time in order to not miss anything, but you actually have to be good at it. And as such, I have not been able to complete a single time attack mode level, not even the first level. Because I just, like I said, I have no rhythm. I guess I just can't get it straight. But otherwise, the story mode is very, very, very forgiving. You can take your time. You can practice a little bit. When you die, you don't start back too far, so that helps a little bit. It can be just a little bit daunting if you're not used to it. So like I said, once you get practice, like if you see here from the gameplay, this is after just a little bit of practice. I actually probably make it look a whole lot easier than it really is. But it actually is easy once you've done it for a while. So don't be discouraged right away. Definitely give this game a little bit of time and a little bit of practice until you can get the beat down. You know, maybe turn the metronome on, or play with headphones if you have to just kind of listen to it. The song kind of changes and goes like with your movements, so you're like kind of designing the music like as you go, which kind of goes along with saving the music of the boombox, which is, you know, the whole reason that you're inside of it anyway. So that's a little bit interesting. I didn't really realize that until after I got good at the game, and then I could tell, you know, that the music was kind of changing to the sounds of, you know, as I do it. So most of the music is represented from disco to there's rock and roll, there's electronica, dubstep, you name it. There's a lot of different. I don't think there was country music. Maybe that'll be DLC for Keezy or something. But there was quite a few different, you know, heavy beat music oriented music shown in there. So it was actually pretty fun to play, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It didn't take me too long to beat. Some of the only achievements I have left are the time trial achievements, which I'm 100% positive that I will never be good enough to get. So I'm just going to kind of leave those alone. But as far as the story goes, the story was good. It has a lot of mini games. It has a lot of you know, different things to do. Like there's enemies in some parts, and then other parts you have you know, just puzzles to solve and things like that. So it stays very dynamic, and then changing when you meet a character and then he tells you his story of what happens, then you actually play the story. So I liked that dynamic. It was really cool to sort of have that stuff you know, changing up. You know, the music is different, so the beat changes and goes faster and slower, you know, with the different genres of music and stuff. So that was pretty enjoyable. Like I said, I just want to warn you up front, this game is a little bit difficult if you don't have any rhythm like me. And if you do give it a shot, I recommend you give it a shot. It's an interesting game. It's definitely a cool game. But if you do give it a shot, I do want to just point out that it was a little bit of a learning curve, and do not rage quit and put this game down and regret your purchase and never play it again. Definitely play through the tutorial, definitely give it a second chance, because that's about probably what I would have done at first. I was having a heck of a time figuring out how I'm supposed to jump, but once you realize what you're supposed to do, it's actually quite enjoyable. So you already know what to do if you watch this review, so you should be over that hurdle already. So you guys can check out links below. I'll have links to everything, so you guys can, you know, read up on it more and check it out. I can do a stream of it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything, feel free to hit me up here. You can hit me up on Xbox Live gamertag, aka space scratch. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.